Police pursuits that we are used to in movies are all about fun and adventure. But what about the real deal, the ones caught on Dashcam and later broadcasted on television? They keep us on the edge of our seats because that's real stuff, man. There's something about watching the suspect drive like a madman and avoid capture at all costs, while police pursue them through traffic and city streets. So let's dive into the most extreme police pursuits ever caught on Dashcam. Number 1. Wild bank robbery. Chase caught on Dashcam. Have you ever seen a real-life high-speed chase? Today, I've got a crazy one for you. It's the story of a crazy chase with 2 bank robbery suspects in Mansfield. It all started when 41-year-old Michael Bailey robbed a bank in Grandview. Guess what? Some sharp-eyed citizens thought he looked shady. They called 911 and followed him to get his license plate number. How cool is that? Police quickly caught up with Michael and his 19-year-old stepdaughter Megan, who was riding with him. And then the real action began. They sped through 4 counties: Hill, Johnson, Ellis, and Tarrant. They drove like maniacs, even swerving into oncoming traffic. Insane, right? Police cars were pushed to their limits. Captain Gary Melson from the Alvarado Police Department was part of the chase. He said police cars usually go up to 135 miles per hour, but they hit around 150 miles per hour on this chase because of downhill roads. Michael made lots of dangerous moves, racing through intersections and curves. Finally, he went off-road, lost control, and crashed into a ditch. Michael and Megan gave up soon after. As one can predict, both suspects were charged for several violations. Number 2. High-speed chase gone wrong. Toledo police released dashcam footage of a wild Saturday night chase. It started around 9:15 p.m. when officers saw a car speeding past others at a red light. Suspicious, right? They started following it. The driver, Nasir Islam, just 15 years old. The car, stolen. Less than 10 seconds in, the car hit a median near the Toledo Museum of Art. That's when the police turned on their lights. But Nasir, pumped by the energetic teenage blood, didn't stop. Instead, he sped up. Nasir swerved, lost control, and crashed into a wall at Monroe and Bancroft. He died on the spot. 2 other teens, Delano Winters, 15, and Ronnie Davis, 14, were injured. Number 3. Miami-Dade chase. Crash and water rescue. This happened in South Miami, and everyone was wondering about the driver's sanity. Melina Logan, 27, went to Honda for a test drive. But guess what? She didn't bring the car back. A be-on-the-lookout alert was issued. Around 2 p.m., the car was spotted on the Palmetto Expressway, but Logan refused to stop. She drove at 90 miles per hour, weaving through heavy traffic and using the shoulder to pass cars. Dashcam footage shows her Honda crashing into several vehicles near the Northwest 25th Street off-ramp. The car was pinned against a concrete wall. But Logan, her plans were different. She climbed onto a concrete ledge and jumped into a lake to escape. Aerial footage captured the dramatic scene. Officers threw ropes for her to grab, but she refused. So several officers jumped into the lake to get her out. During the struggle, she scratched one officer and pushed another underwater. She was booked for grand theft auto, battery on a police officer, and several other charges. Number 4. Teen chase ends in crash. Imagine a 15-year-old driver leads police on a dangerous high-speed chase that ends in a crash in Dallas. Holtham City Police tried to pull over a Mustang weaving through lanes, but the driver had other plans and took off, reaching speeds over 100 miles per hour. Near downtown Dallas, the Mustang ran a red light and crashed into an SUV, and that's where the chase stopped. Police arrived with guns drawn, realizing the car was full of teenagers. There were 3 15-year-olds and a 13-year-old in the car. After the crash, both teenagers in the Mustang and the women in the SUV were hurt. The teenagers involved were from a nearby city in Tarrant County. The 15-year-old driver was in a Dallas hospital and faced charges of evading police. Number 5. Teen hijacks police car. David Williams, 19, hijacked a police car and led officers on a wild chase. It set off when he went to a garage with a friend in Caerphilly. Williams attacked the garage owner with a crowbar, shouting racist slurs. Then, things got even crazier. The garage owner ran to a nearby police vehicle to escape the situation. Police tried to stop Williams, but he stole a high-performance police car. He sped through residential streets at over 100 miles per hour in a 30 miles per hour zone. He smashed into another car, injuring 2 women. Eventually, Williams drove into a field and tried to run away, but was caught by a police dog. Williams was very drunk and refused a blood alcohol test. He had a long list of charges, including dangerous driving, assault, and theft. The judge sentenced him to 92 weeks in prison and banned him from driving for almost 4 years. Number 6. High-speed chase ends in tragedy. Not all extreme chases end with the arrest of the suspect. On March 22, 2023, a Cudahy officer tried to stop a car for speeding and a broken headlight. But the driver, overwhelmed by God knows what, took off. The chase stretched over 3 miles, hitting speeds around 100 miles per hour. Isn't that wild? But then, the police called off the chase. Was it over? Not quite. About an hour and a half later, they found the car wrecked in South Milwaukee. It had gone down an embankment on the Oak Creek Parkway. The driver, Justin Imbakella, 23, died at the scene. So sad. Turns out Justin had a warrant for his arrest for violating parole. Why do you think the police called off the chase in the first place? Number 7. Deadly motorcycle chase. Some stories raise questions on the police's chasing policy, and I am going to narrate one right now. It is about February 2022, when a Camden County Sheriff's deputy caught up to a motorcyclist on I-95. The deputy follows the biker for a minute, then the motorcyclist takes off, hitting over 100 miles per hour. Quite wild. The chase goes into another jurisdiction, weaving through rush hour traffic and using the emergency lane. It's intense, but after 6.5 minutes, the chase ends tragically. The motorcyclist crashes into a car at an intersection and dies. Now here's the big question. Did the chase follow Camden County Sheriff's policies? Should it have even happened? Expert Mark Bachman says it puts drivers at risk for no good reason. Policies are there to keep everyone safe. The Sheriff's Office rules say a pursuit should only continue with supervisor approval. They should have weighed the risk versus the offense. What do you think? Was the chase necessary or too risky? Number 8. Bicycle bandits on the run. Not all extreme chases are successful. Here's a story from Texas. Early Thursday morning this May, 2 thieves broke into multiple cars and stole 2 vehicles. Dashcam footage shows the moment Lytle police picked up their trail. The suspects drove at speeds over 100 miles per hour, trying to escape. The chase was intense. They sped down the I-35 frontage road, weaving through traffic. But it didn't end well for them. The driver crashed into a parked truck and slammed into a telephone pole. The car stopped, but the suspects, they didn't. One suspect was seen jumping over a fence and disappearing into the brush. Both suspects got away. The stolen Dodge truck? Total loss. The other stolen vehicle was found abandoned near downtown San Antonio. But get this, they're not just car thieves. Earlier, neighbors saw the same guys on bikes breaking into cars. One was even caught on camera with a gun stolen from another vehicle. Let's see how far they can get away with this. Number 9. High-speed chase ends in dramatic crash. There is a thing about extreme police pursuits. Most of them are more dramatic than the dramas themselves. Here is a jaw-dropping story from Fort Smith. It was Friday, April 10th, 2020. As the sun rose, a police chase hit speeds close to 130 miles per hour. A U.S. Forest Service officer saw a black truck blow through a stoplight on Highway 71. State police joined the chase 17 minutes later. The chase zigzagged through Sebastian County and back into Fort Smith. Trooper Michael Sean Ellis led the pursuit. Things got intense when the truck swerved into oncoming traffic on Zero Street. A state police supervisor ordered the truck to be stopped. At over 100 miles per hour, the crash happened. As we can imagine, both vehicles went airborne. Trooper Ellis's camera cut out after hitting a utility pole. Another trooper's camera showed the truck rolling and launching Ellis's car into the air. The driver, 34-year-old Justin Battenfield, died. Number 10. High-speed U-Haul chase. This is a story that we can't miss while discussing the extreme police pursuits of all times. On the evening of February 7th, 2024, Taneytown police received a distress call. Multiple law enforcement agencies were chasing a stolen U-Haul van. Imagine a U-Haul speeding over 120 miles per hour. What they didn't know, the occupants had multiple firearms and Molotov cocktails. Talk about danger. Multiple agencies joined the chase, including the aggressive Arkansas State Police. At one point, an officer attempted a pity maneuver. His speed is going to shock you. He attempted it at a whopping 101 miles per hour. For comparison, many agencies consider PATs above 45 miles per hour to be a lethal force. The officer's push bumper got hooked on the U-Haul, leading to a complete loss of control. It was chaotic. Eventually, the suspects were caught. They faced serious charges, including aggravated assault, criminal conspiracy, and more. Plus, they're wanted in Michigan for trying to run over officers. Why do people think they can outrun the law without facing the music? Number 11, police chase felons, up to no good. The first police pursuit we're going to talk about is nothing less than a scene from a movie. It was on April 12, 2021, when this hawk-eyed citizen observed a car moving recklessly and throwing out a suspicious bag. As if he had been waiting for such a moment for his entire life, he immediately contacted the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office. Deputies rushed to the scene and soon spotted the black Dodge Charger in question. They trailed the car to Merchant Square parking lot. Just as they were closing in, 4 men exited the vehicle but immediately scrambled back inside and sped off. As expected, this resulted in a high-speed chase, but the deputies managed to stop it with a well-executed piet. Can you guess what did the officers find upon capturing them? They found a substantial amount of marijuana, 2 Glock 17 pistols, several ski masks, and forged IDs. All 4 men were from Chicago, and 2 of them had extensive criminal records that included numerous violent crimes in Illinois. And the audacity, all that suspects had to say, was that they were on vacations. Thanks to the citizen and quick response by deputies, the situation was swiftly and safely resolved. Number 12, police take yellow bus thief to school. This case is going to take you by surprise. In May of 2023, a stolen school bus took police on a wild ride across 2 states. Yes, a school bus. The driver led officers on an 80-mile high-speed chase that ended dramatically in Indiana. It all started in Cincinnati, Ohio, where the bus was stolen. Thankfully, there were no passengers on board. Dashcam footage captured the bus careening down I-74, pursued by multiple police agencies. For over 50 minutes, the bus weaved through traffic. At one point, it hit a curb and nearly tipped over, but the driver managed to regain control and keep going. The chase ended when the bus veered off the road into a cornfield in Shelbyville, Indiana. There, it finally came to a halt. What do you think might have happened next? Yes, the suspect now faces several charges linked to the theft and chase. Quite predictable, though. Number 13, the not-so-great escape. Now it's time for another incredible event that surfaced in July 2023. The Kenosha County Sheriff's Department released jaw-dropping dashcam footage of the dramatic traffic stop and arrest involving a stolen Chevrolet Camaro. The story begins around 3:50 p.m. An inmate escaped police custody near Park Ridge, Illinois, and carjacked a Camaro. The Pleasant Prairie Police Department alerted the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department that they had spotted the stolen vehicle. As one can expect, what followed was a high-speed interstate chase. The KSD, PD, and Wisconsin State Patrol all joined forces to pursue the Camaro. The chase ended when OnStar remotely shut off the vehicle's engine, allowing officers to capture Wesley R. Anderson. Incredibly, Anderson still had the original handcuffs from his initial escape. After his arrest, he was taken to a hospital for medical clearance, where he attempted another escape. Talk of audacity? However, it wasn't quite his day, as he was quickly subdued. Anderson now faces multiple charges, including operating a vehicle without consent, fleeing and eluding an officer, reckless endangerment, and battery to a law enforcement officer. He also has several outstanding felony warrants. Could it have gone any other way, though? Number 14. Deadly police chase in Charles County release. It's a rather dramatic and tragic story from Waldorf. Around 2 p.m. on June 29, 2023, officers rushed to the 11900 block of Acton Lane. Reports came in of a woman being assaulted and a possible carjacking. When officers arrived, they found a woman on the ground, and the reported possible carjacking was turning into absolute carjacking as her car was being driven away. The suspect, 34-year-old Dewan Mitchell, officers tried to stop him as they always do, but he refused to pull over. Mitchell lost control of both his nerves and the car. He hit a grass median, crossed into northbound lanes of Mattawoman Beantown Road, and collided with a dump truck. Mitchell died at the scene. The dump truck driver was injured and taken to the hospital. Number 15. Icy chase in Milwaukee. A wild story from Milwaukee that you won't believe. On December 8, 2021, Milwaukee police officers were called to a Speedway gas station for a retail theft complaint. They located the suspect's vehicle near North Green Bay Avenue and West Hampton Avenue and began the most nail-biting part, the chase. The streets were covered in a light dusting of snow that made the pursuit even more dangerous. The fleeing vehicle struggled with the icy conditions, but kept going. Here's the crazy part. After a few minutes, the reckless driver made a series of turns while cautiously using their turn signals. Yes, you heard it right. Even while evading police, speeding on icy roads, and endangering lives, this driver remembered to signal their turns. It's amazing to see some rules of the road remain important to this driver, despite the chaos. What are your thoughts on it? Number 16. Four-county pursuit. This is an event of an insane high-speed chase across multiple Ohio counties. This wild pursuit began in Ottawa County and zoomed through Erie, Lorain, and Cuyahoga counties. The footage is from an Ohio State Highway Patrol cruiser joining the chase of a pickup truck on April 14th, 2021. At the start of the video, an officer deploys a spike strip, which the pickup truck runs over. The driver keeps going, but his tires are rapidly deflating. Around 5 minutes in, sparks start flying, but the suspect, considering himself the hero of some action movie, continues to drive the truck on its wheel rims. It's a spectacular sight, and it becomes clear the driver isn't going anywhere. However, he didn't realize it until it was too late. Realizing his escape is doomed, the driver ditches the truck and tries to flee on foot. You might guess what happened next. He didn't get far. Officers quickly apprehended and took him into custody. Number 17. Kalamazoo pursuit. Wanted suspect caught. It's the time for a wild chase story from Kalamazoo that you won't want to miss. On April 15th, 2021, Michigan State Police were hot on the trail of Jeremy Thrasher. He was wanted for a shooting that happened just 2 days earlier. Officers spotted him at a marathon service station and tried to box him in. But Thrasher had other plans. He managed to escape, and can you guess what happened next? Yes, the chase set in. For 10 intense minutes, Thrasher led police through Kalamazoo, even driving the wrong way down busy one-way streets, as all he cared about was his own life at that point. However, the state police were relentless, staying right on his tail. Thrasher briefly managed to shake them off, but his luck quickly ran out. He crashed his car and tried to make a run for it on foot. What can possibly happen when your luck has already run out, though? The officers were right behind him. They caught him and made the arrest. Number 18. Florida chase. Reckless driver brought to justice. All right, now let's look at an extreme pursuit captured in Florida. Deputy Sean McGuigan spotted a gold Chevy Suburban driving recklessly. The driver, later identified as Matthew M. Richardson, blew through a stop sign, hit a curb, and drove into oncoming traffic. When Deputy McGuigan activated his lights and siren, Richardson took off. Turns out, he was on probation for a prior DUI and was also a suspect in a similar incident earlier that day in Marion County. Deputy McGuigan, along with another patrol vehicle, tried several pit maneuvers to stop the fleeing Suburban. Richardson was relentless and refused to stop. Finally, Deputy McGuigan made solid contact with the rear left quarter of Richardson's vehicle, causing it to spin off the road and come to a stop. Richardson was arrested and faced multiple charges: fleeing and eluding law enforcement, aggravated assault on an officer, driving while license suspended, revoked, reckless driving, and violation of probation. You name it. Number 19, disqualified driver caught after wild pursuit. It's his wild chase story from the UK that's definitely going to blow your mind. On February 22nd, just after midnight, officers on patrol spotted a blue Audi Q3 on the A27 at Lewes. The car was untaxed, so they pulled it over. The driver sped off, reaching speeds up to 90 miles per hour towards Polegate. The Roads Policing Unit, Tactical Firearms Unit, and Dog Unit teamed up with help from the National Police Air Service helicopter. They set up a stop stick at a junction, puncturing all 4 of Audi's tires. The car was boxed in, but the driver ran off, scaling a large wall and escaping on foot. Police dog flak found the suspect hiding in a drain under the road in Polegate. The driver was identified as Dean Loughran Oxley, 42, a road worker with no fixed address. He was arrested and charged with dangerous driving while disqualified, failing to stop, and possession of cannabis. Number 20, high-speed BMW chase, runaway driver caught. Now we've got an action-packed chase story that seems to have come straight out of an action movie. On April 10th, Richard Frost, 42, drove a black BMW 7 Series on the A60 in Arnold. Police suspected it was linked to an incident in Leicestershire. Armed response officers sprang into action. They planned to stop the car by puncturing its tires. An hour later, in Redhill, they deployed a stinger device. But like any other suspect trying to flee, Frost didn't stop. He sped towards Mansfield on damaged tires. He hit speeds of 100 miles per hour, weaving through traffic on the A614. Officers made tactical contact as he neared the Longdale Lane roundabout, spinning the car 180 degrees and boxing it in. So after the timely implementation of the smart move, Frost was caught on the spot. He pleaded guilty to dangerous driving and driving while disqualified. The result? He was sentenced to 10 months in jail at Nottingham Crown Court. And that was it. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon to get all our videos on time. Until next time.